To define magic is a lot of things. Magic is your belief in something, right? If I could convince you or influence you that you are the greatest person alive, that's magic. Hypnosis is magic. If I could convince you of something, now you can produce your own belief in knowing of something, and that's magic. The way people, and it's different types. Someone could convince you of something negative. Someone could say something so evil to you and it hurts you, but they didn't touch you. But they said something to you and they planted something in your mind, which can be even worse than physical pain. That internal, mental, emotional pain. And spelling, grammar, grimoire. These things overlap because that's real. A sentence is something you go to when you go to a prison. A sentence, how long you do time, right? That's what magic is. The things you say. God spoke into existence. Om. What is Om? Om. Frequency. Frequency is magic. Words is magic. Belief is magic. Knowing is magic. When you say something and what you're saying, like let me give you an example, right? If you are a psychic or an intuitive, the way people use intuition to like detect a liar or a truth teller, right? Is if what you're saying aligns with what I intuitively feel. Like, you have gut feelings for a reason. You have you have brain tissue and neurological tissue in your gut for a reason, because your gut is a second brain. Your heart is also a brain. Your mind is obviously a brain, right? All these things connect to different aspects of your mind, body, and soul. Your mind, body, and spirit. Your heart is your spirit. Your mind obviously is your mind, and your gut is your body. Now, everything being in alignment, you'll be able to really see if somebody's telling the truth or not. And this is what intuitives do. This is what psychics do. I'm giving y'all sauce right now. I'm giving y'all PhD level sauce in the spiritual community. Spiritual PhD knowledge right here. Right? This is what psychics do. They try to align. They tap into the energy of what you're saying and try to see and feel if you're telling the truth or not. And that's how people are intuitive. Now, people may do this consciously or subconsciously. So you may not, if you're intuitive, you may not even know that's what you're doing. But that's what you're doing. So if I'm saying something, right, you're scanning energetically to see if I'm saying something that resonates. Now, like, you may hear something and be like, okay, that's why you still here. That's why it's 4 minutes in. We here with it. Oh man, we right here with it. So I'm just giving y'all the sauce, though. I'm saying what needs to be said, and you know, people get influenced by magic all the time. This society and the governments, a lot of three acronym letter governments use a lot of magic in their symbols, and it's because it's a collective belief system. If a bunch of people see a symbol and all think it means something, it means something because we said it does. Whatever we say, it goes, and that's just what it is. At a snap of a finger, it's just what it is. Now, you can control your own individual aspect of this, right? Since we are all one, you know, we are all split into trillions of different expressions of that oneness, and you can control your own individual divine spark of that oneness, or God. This is another word for it. And the way you do that is just knowing what you are at the highest levels. Like I said, you are that one. You are part of that oneness. You're a a part of that God. You gotta understand that the wave, like a wave in the ocean, contains everything that the ocean contains. The ocean is what made up of what hydrogen H2O, hydrogen and oxygen, and also sodium. That wave has all those things in it, right? So it still has the totality of that. Even though it's a piece, it still has the totality. And when you understand that, you start to really look at things differently, and you start to realize how powerful you are. You start to, when you know, like, I am God expressing Himself in human form. You tell yourself this, you look yourself in the mirror, you look yourself face to face, and you say, I am God expressing Himself in human form. And so is everybody else. The only difference is I'm aware and that person is not. Now, magic is also psychological warfare. So social engineering, right? If you can engineer a bunch of people to think a certain way, act a certain way, believe a certain thing, if you can control someone's belief, what they think God is and what God ain't, you can control their whole everything. So this is why these elites or these, systems have so much power, because they understood things and have things, things shared amongst them that they're not going to tell the public, or they don't want us to know. And the only way you're going to know is if you look for it. You have to be looking for the knowledge. You have to be looking for this. You have to be a seeker of truth, because the universe will reveal it to you. And it's not even revealing. You're just remembering. You're going through a remembering. Like, that's all of this magic stuff is remembering who you truly are, right? Which is the universe expressing itself in human form. And now you can influence your reality with that knowledge. Okay, can I snap my fingers and something happens? Not as probable. But with enough concentration and attention on something, you can manifest that into your reality. You manifest the emotions behind it. It starts small. You manifest the emotions behind it. You'll manifest the energy, and then it will snowball. Then you'll start inspired action. So you'll start doing the things that's aligned with what you're feeling, what you want to create. And you can create these things. You're a magician. Just because you moving something physically and doing something physical doesn't mean you're not a magician, because there's no, spirit is not more important than physical, and physical is not more important than spirit. They all hold a purpose, right? This is not hell. It's only hell if you say it's hell. It's only heaven if you say it's heaven. If you think this is all just a horrible experience and we're all just fucked, oh my God, then that's just what your reality is going to be. But if you feel like, okay, this is a learning experience, this is something I'm going through and it's making me stronger. Okay, they buried me, but they forgot I was a diamond. They buried me, but they forgot I was a seed and I was going to grow. It doesn't affect you, because that's magic. Now that's defensive magic, right? You could defend programming and delete it. Rewire your brain, your subconscious, how you think of life. This is gems at the gems I'm hitting y'all with, and I love it because this is what I love. I love sharing these deep thoughts and things that it's like corners of my mind that I have yet to really explore really vocalize fully to different people, because I don't have too many people around me I could talk to about these things, right? So I'm grateful that I have a platform where I could talk freely without feeling judged, because it's mine, right? I just made a video last week talking about finding my audience, and that was magic. I spoke it, meaning my intention is magic. What you intend to do will happen if you believe and know it's going to happen, and not doubting it or thinking it won't, or caring too much about the expectation of how you think it's going to be so perfect. That's really what it be. We create the mental obstacles in our mind. It don't be as hard as we think. It just be in our head, in our doubt, because we trying to make it make sense logically. But the universe is not logical. The universe is very chaotic. It's very primordial chaos. And your mind, as a human, you're making structure behind that chaos. You're making this shit make sense. This is why we have science. This is why we have these different fields of study, to make the unknown known to put structure. You got to understand, Isaac Newton, Albert Einstein, Nikola Tesla, none of them discovered anything. They just were the first person to be documented. They didn't discover this stuff. A lot of the things they discovered, it's just the fact they were the first to document it, and they just got it claimed on paper, and now we think that's so much important to, oh my God, we gotta be the first. But in reality, no thought is original, because if it was thought, if you see it, it was thought of, and if it was thought of, it can already be created. The Akashic Records is what happened, what is happening, and what will happen all at once, meaning all the possibilities. This is the quantum field I'm talking about. This is real science. This is real magic. Magic is science if you just know how to apply it. And it all connects if you know how to apply it and make it and see the connection. Now, I can't convince you of anything, and that's never my intention to convince anyone, because I can't at the end of the day. I could say what I'm saying all day. I can express how I'm expressing all day. But it's ultimately up to the person watching to believe me or resonate what I'm saying or not. You could hear what I'm saying. If you still hear, you like, okay, he's spitting on something, right? But you could hear what I'm saying and take it for a grain of salt and keep it pushing. And it's like, it don't really, I appreciate it, but it don't really, it don't have no meaning to me. Or other way around, vice versa. It could have a lot of meaning. You just know, like, damn, this aspect of myself is telling me about aspects of myself and helping me remember aspects of myself. Because it's all you, me, you, I, all one. It just sounds different, and it's just a way to give a label or understanding of a label. It's just a way to understand things. That's all structure is, understanding. Because when you have structure, you can understand and see how things work. You know what to do, what not to do, what works, what doesn't work, what you should or shouldn't be doing, and it helps you navigate better when you understand things. And this is why I feel and I know science is so important, as much as the spirituality or the more mystical side of it. And they have to, you basically, like, for example, aura, your auric field, scientifically is called a biofield. Like, you get what I'm saying? So it all connects. Your nervous system is also your spiritual system and how you connect to the outer realms. You gotta just know how to make it connect, like, it's nothing I can tell you, and because I've met people, right, who I said things, and I feel like I made it so clear, and it's like, no matter what I say, this person just doesn't seem to get it, what I'm trying to say. And it's like we're living in two different worlds, and I realize that's not my audience. If you listening to this and it doesn't resonate, that means you're not my audience. But if you listening to this, that means, and it does, that means you're the 0.1% of the population that is of the highest of a height of frequency to even penetrate this, But thank you for watching this. Hopefully you learned something about some magic today. Hopefully you can apply some of this philosophy and psychology into your life, and hopefully I was able to bring some type of information that you may have not known or a different perspective on it. I love you. Peace.